Hey, welcome to today's Top Leaders. I'm Jen Anderson, the CEO of Moving Forward Solutions, and today's episode of today's Top Leaders Live has a mascot. This is Ruby Lou Anderson. Ruby, can you say hi to everybody? Can you say hi? I know. Cue the Oz, right? Okay, so Ruby is a little Yorkie Terrier. She's about 7 years old and she weighs about 4.5 pounds. So she's just a little tiny thing. Look at her. Look how cute she is. Oh my gosh. Just adorable. Yes, you're adorable. So today the reason why I've got Ruby here with me is because we're talking about what you can do to improve your mental health with little things during the day, little daily joys. And Ruby is an example of a daily joy. And as a leader, I think it's really fun to see how people are bringing their fur babies to work, in these day and age with so many of us having our workforce spread out all over the place working from home. Bring those fur babies. Ruby, can you say, yeah, everybody, bring your fur baby? She's so not impressed. Anyhow, so this is an example of something that you can do to have a little bit of daily joy. And for me right now, while I'm working from home, my kindergartner is off to school. My husband is working at the hospital. He works as a nurse case manager. And so everybody's gone. So it's just Ruby, the wonder dog, and me home alone. And so sure, it's fun to bring your dog to the staff meeting, but also think about how interacting with your animals at home can actually be a very therapeutic thing for you. If you're dealing with like stress, mental health kind of stuff, dogs are amazing that way. They're a wonderful support. It's funny about Ruby. I don't know if I've shared this here or not before, but we actually got her from the shelter. She was a rescue dog and she just showed up in our lives just a few months ago. And it's been really fun to have her in our lives. And at first, my husband and I were trying to placate our kid who really wanted a dog. And we were waiting until she was a little bit older. And so now that our daughter is 6, we're like, we can totally do a dog. We can totally make this happen. This dog has been more for my husband and I than it has been for our daughter. Sure, our daughter loves her. I think Ruby tolerates our daughter because she's all like in her face and stuff, but she's just been a great support to us. And my husband and I often joke about how the dog really is it's been a wonderful for us and for our mental health and for our joy. So Ruby, I'm going to let you go down. Ruby, can you say goodbye to everybody? Ruby, look over here. You say goodbye. Bye everybody. Say, I hope you have a good day and do those things to help yourself. Okay, thanks, Ruby. Oh my goodness. Here you go. All right. So anyhow, when it comes to mental health and those daily joys, look for those things that are going to bring you joy. Now you might be saying, oh, heck no, I'm not doing a dog thing. No way. And I get it. Like I've been putting off having a dog forever. It's like, oh, one more thing I got to think about. And as a working parent, I totally get it. It gets to be a lot of stuff. And so, but what are those things that you can do for yourself? And recently, I was in a coaching call with a client. He's in charge of some architecture at a team. And we were talking about how I said, okay, what's something that's gone well? And he's like, I don't know. Because for him, he's thinking like big, huge, it's got to be this massive like rollout of this architecture, this feature or something else, right? And then I'm like, but wait a minute, because right at the beginning of our call, he had sat down with this mug and he said, I'm looking forward to talking to you. He said, I just took a few minutes to go brew myself this cup of tea. And it was some kind of special tea that he looks forward to. And so when I had asked him, share with me an example of something that's going well for you. And he's like, oh, I can't think of any like big feature or anything else, because that's what he thought like had to be a success, right? Again, these big things. I said, wait, time out. What about that cup of tea? Could that not be a success? And he thought about it and he's like, you're totally right, Jen. And we had this really beautiful conversation around how he was recognizing, wait a minute, he's like totally just skimming over and discarding and diminishing and minimizing that, taking 15, 20 minutes for himself, just take a break from his computer to go and stop and to brew this cup of tea and to stop and to enjoy this tea, that was something that he couldn't give to himself as a joy. And so think about that for yourself. Like, what are you doing for yourself to recognize those little joys, those little things throughout your day that you might just be skimming over and minimizing and dismissing and thinking, whatever, it's just a cup of tea, right? No, I want to step into this place of, let's celebrate all of those little things because they are good. They're so helpful for our mental health and for us to have this different feeling of, yeah, things are good. I have some stuff I can be in control of and it feels better, right? So look at that, right? And remember those little things. And if you're not putting those things into your life, use this as your calling card. Here's your card, right? Go do those things for yourself. What is that thing that you need for yourself every day? It doesn't have to be hours and hours, right? But what's that small little thing that you can do? I'm thinking of another client of mine, another tech leader who, in his group of software developers and the QA people that were totally within his space alone, he had about 47 people. And one thing that he would do for himself is he'd go for a run. He's like, sometimes he's like, I'm just needing to clear my head, and being in front of the computer and doing all of the things. He's just like, I need to just take a break. So he would tell his team, you know what? I'm going to check out and I will be back. And he'll just go for a run. And he would only go for like maybe 20 or 30 minutes. This was not like an all afternoon kind of a thing. He would just go and he'd come back and he's like, okay, I got some clarity. I know what I'm doing. But even if he didn't get clarity on the tech answer, he told me, he said, it's just helpful to me in my heart and where I'm feeling right now. And he's like, and it helps me to kind of reduce that stress. And so just think about that. What are those little things that you can do for yourself that give you those little pockets of joy so it can in turn boost your mental health, right? That's a really key thing, especially as a leader. Holy moly, you can totally set the stage for yourself and for your team, right? And to show that to them and normalize that. And if they need to go take a break and they need to go for a walk around the block, or whatever it is that they need to go brew tea, and they're like, I just need to be unplugged for 20 minutes. Awesome. Go do it. Right? It's totally okay. Because I think sometimes working from home, we have that like, gotta always be on and intense and connected, right? Perhaps not. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to do that for yourself and to do it for your people as well. And then another thing with daily joys is, I think gratitude is way understated. I think that expressing gratitude is a huge opportunity to stop and say, okay, all the things that are going on. Yes, I've got these demands. I've got this task list. I've got to pick up my kid after school and get them to piano lesson and like all these things, right? Okay. So, but what are you grateful for? Like, what is good and healthy and right? And so sometimes when I share with people about gratitude, I like to tie that back to just like the little simple things in the day, So, for example, I'm grateful to have Ruby home here with me. It's just so fun to have her and to feel that love. And another reason why I'm grateful for Ruby is because it helps me to disconnect from all the things, right? Here I'm in my command central station, right? And it's like, no. What does a dog need? Maybe she needs to go to the bathroom. Maybe she needs some lunch, right? We can sit and we can talk for a few minutes and then I can go back to work. And it's just those few minutes makes a huge difference. And I am grateful for that. So if you decide to start writing down your gratitudes every day, I want you to think about the because factor. What I mean with that is, like, just give you an example. I could have said, I'm grateful for Ruby, right? Just grateful for her. Okay. But take that and take it to the because. And I just delineated all those things for you. So yes, I'm grateful for Ruby. She's great, all these wonderful things. But then what's the because? I'm grateful for Ruby because she helps me to slow down. She shows me and reminds me that I need to unplug. Right. So that's the because factor. So do that for yourself. So if you find yourself writing down your gratitude, and it's really a wonderful exercise, even just write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And a lot of times I do this at night before I go to bed. It kind of gives me a chance to stop and think about my day. instead of just cranking through and going, right? It's like, stop. What am I grateful for? So I write the thing down, and then because whatever, right? And so I'll give you an example. Even just last night, I wrote down that I was grateful for tissues. So while I was sitting there writing things out, my nose was running. So I grabbed a tissue and I blew my nose, and I'm like, I am grateful for tissues because this allows me to very easily deal with my mucus, right? And so, like, just the little things like that. And so, it's not always about a person or an experience or something like that. It can be even simple little things like tissues, right? But stopping and just feeling that feel of like how grateful I am. And then I had this thought of, I wonder how people came up with tissues. I wonder how, because look in the box and they're like folded over each other, right? So as you pull one out, it pulls the next one. And I thought, so I started having this really interesting dialogue in my mind about tissues. And it wasn't something that was like this massive distraction. It was just like, I don't know, I maybe thought about it for 23 seconds, but it also just got me thinking about, I am so grateful that somebody figured that stuff out and that somebody's manufacturing these boxes of tissues that are ready to go. And I can go to Costco and I can buy a bulk box of tissues and have it ready to go when I need it and when my family needs it. And so little things like that can again help you to see like the things that are in your life that are bringing you joy, right? Those daily moments of joy. It's a really great opportunity. And then the last thing I want to share with you is start your day with the theme song. What is your very favorite song, right? If everybody has their favorite song, listen to it, right? So grab your earbuds, pop them in, listen to that song, get your juices flowing, right? And even if it's a calm, relaxing song, it's still going to get your juices flowing. It's still going to get you going, yeah, okay, I'm feeling good. But then if you ever find yourself throughout the day and you're just like, I need to pick me up, ooh, I am struggling here, grab that theme song, have it on the ready, right? And so I have like on YouTube, I have a list of all of my favorite songs, and I just pop into them, like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this song, and then just throw in my earbuds and go for a walk, or even just here in my office, or I'll throw on the song and I'll walk out of my office and go fill up my water bottle. And so just kind of gives me a little bit of a skip in my step, and that's another way for you to have that infusion, a very easy thing to do to help you to have a little bit more joy that in turn can really help you improve your mental health. Listen, as a leader, if you're worried about the mental health of your team, I am not a mental health professional by any means, but there are key things that you can do to help yourself and to help your team to get real about that and to recognize it. And so if you're needing support with this and you want to make sure that you're doing some key things that you can do to really connect with your team better, in turn, this is going to really position you to be that tech leader that everyone wants to work for as you're building the tech team that everyone wants to work for, right? So get in touch with me. Go to movingforwardsolutions.com. And on the top right corner, you will see a Let's Talk button. And so click on that and we can schedule a time to talk about some key things that we can talk about to see how I can support you as you're looking to become that great tech leader that you want to be. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me today on today's Top Leaders. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.